NASCAR Goes West heads to Phoenix.
Today at noon on Fox 11.
When you're all fighting for one checkered flag, don't expect everyone to play nice.
Gordon lunging for Kasplowski. What a showdown. He's using that helmet as a weapon. Kyle Busch coming to get some of Joey Logano. Right hand by Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch being dogpiled. This has been brewing for a long time.
What will happen this week in the rematch between Busch and Logano?
Hold on. You do remember who won last week, right?
Don't worry, Martin. I remembered. Last week it was Martin Truex Jr. who came out victorious in Vegas. Today, it's another 39-car battle royale to the finish.
Business is about to pick up.
Who will duke it out on their way to victory lane? Find out now on Fox.
Another race, another round with Joey Logano and Kyle Busch. It's a hot day in the desert, sunny. Racing will be done in the 90-degree temperature range throughout the afternoon. Live from just outside Phoenix, Arizona, Fox Sports brings you the Monster Energy Series and then some. And we're on the scene to bring you closer to it all from the Hollywood Hotel and Sauna. We have Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Gordon. I'm Chris Myers. Nice to have you watching with us. So far, 3 races, 3 unexpected finishes. Martin Truex Jr. coming off driving for the cycle. But today, he'll be sweating it out with the rest of the drivers' record heat, hottest it's ever been for this race. How will it affect the race?
Yeah, it's probably going to be about 130 degrees inside the car. So physically, that's going to be really challenging. Tires, brakes are going to be pushed to the limits, and so are tempers.
Yeah, heat is your worst enemy. I mean, the car doesn't like it, the driver doesn't like it. It's just your worst enemy. It makes you don't think clear when you're overheated.
Right, but it is a short race. We will have a temperature gauge in Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car, so we'll be able to watch that throughout the race. Meanwhile, Joey Logano on the pole, Ryan Blaney alongside, 2012 champ Brad Keselowski. He's your overall points leader. And NASCAR's young drivers, the 20-something crowd, the millennial crowd, close behind. There's Kyle Larson, and then Chase Elliott, and Blaney is 6th in points. Time now for a quick check on the KFC Georgia Gold headlines. And just in time for April's weekend, this week, Texas Motor Speedway unveiled their newly repaved surface and the reprofiling of turns 1 and 2. There's reduced banking and a wider racing surface. Phoenix also has begun their track renovation here. In yesterday's Xfinity race in Phoenix, contact with Cole Custer at Austin Dillon, and then later Dillon got back at Custer. His crew chief spotter called in by NASCAR to talk about it. He was parked, of course he was wrecked. NASCAR will look into the moment further. Justin Allgaier and Junior Motorsports the winner. And after reviewing the footage, no penalties issued against Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, or their crews. After last week, NASCAR stating both drivers were racing hard for position. That's what the sport is all about. Both drivers met with NASCAR on Friday, met with each other, and talked about it.
No, just try to explain that, hey, I made a mistake underneath it.
Everything's great. Looking forward to getting back to the racetrack and getting into my race car.
Are you okay with Joey moving forward?
Everything's great. Really looking forward to getting in my race car and getting back here at Phoenix.
How many changes did you guys have to make to qualify top 10?
Everything's great.
You better give us more than that.
I was. I'm back at the racetrack and I'm in my race car, so that's why everything is great. You have the opportunity to have something else happen during the week and it didn't, so it's good to be back at the track and here in Phoenix, West Coast swing.
Everything's great. Thought it was a recording. Vince Welch, who was last seen on Fox, talking to a bloody-faced Kyle Busch, has more on this continuing story. He's standing by at the eBay Motors pit box. And Vince, good to see you again.
Thank you very much, Chris. Certainly it has been the hot topic of conversation, the scuffle between Kyle Busch and Joey Logano. And in the garage, there's support for each driver on both sides of the fence. In the meeting with NASCAR, they made it clear that the drivers are not expected to stop racing one another hard, but in no way in the retaliation form are they to ever use their vehicle as a weapon. In fact, indicated that if the two happen to be coming to the checkered flag later today and there was contact between them, as long as the racing was hard and clean, there should be no penalties involved. Hard, clean racing. That's what NASCAR's after. Retaliation, maybe we'll see it later, but don't use that vehicle as a weapon. That's loud and clear. The penalty will be swift.
All right, thank you, Vince. So first, do you agree, champion drivers here who've had your own mix-ups here, do you agree that there is no punishment, not even a fine?
Well, you know, officiating is subjective. And so, you know, the one thing that the drivers are telling me they want is some consistency. How do I know from one week to the next, is throwing a punch, can I get away with that? Can I run a guy off the track? I think they just want some boundaries.
Well, what does this tell you?
Everybody wants boundaries.
Well, a sport is about competition and the emotions that come along with winning and losing, and we don't want to stop that. But there is a line to it. I don't think anybody crossed the line. As long as they keep the pit crew members and things in check, I think that's right there at the edge of it.
I think NASCAR, admittedly, in the past, maybe tightened the reins too much and wants drivers to be themselves. I don't want to sound like a third grader here, but I think fans are wondering, even those who watched and pay close attention, who actually started this between Joey and Kyle?
Well, we can actually go back and watch the video. I mean, I think that if you look right here, we're coming down the back straightaway last week at Las Vegas. Now, as they come down the back straightaway, the alien number 2 car of Brad Keselowski and freeze it right here. So now you've got Kyle Busch is trying to make a decision. He knows he's coming up on the 2 fast. He's got the 22 of Logano on the inside trying to pin him up high behind the 2. Now as we roll forward, the 2 starts to move up the racetrack. Kyle's got to make an evasive move. He makes contact with Joey Logano. When he makes that contact, right now that sent a message to Joey Logano. All right, all bets are off. We're going for it. He slips up the racetrack trying to get back in the gas hard, makes contact with the 18. Unfortunately, spins the 18. The 22 kept going, but that's what escalated the emotions out of Kyle Busch. If he had finished 3rd or 4th or 5th,
you don't think he'd throw a punch?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Well, Joey went on to finish 4th. Kyle finished 22nd. Had they come to the line banging on each other, there may have been some hard feelings, but there wouldn't have been a fight. So I think that was the difference. One guy goes ahead and gets a great finish, the other guy's wrecked, and that's where the emotion came in.
Yeah, it sounded to me, listening to them this weekend, that one of them is over it, moving on, the other one not so much. All right, there's 2 75-lap stages for today's race, and then 160 laps to finish it off. Kevin Harvick has won 6 of the last 9 races here, the all-time leader with 8 career wins, including the last 3 spring races, but all those were in Chevrolets. He's in a Ford in Phoenix for the first time today. Here's what's coming up as we count you down to the start of the race. We just can't get enough of that incident. And we'll have Jeff Gordon and Darrell Waltrip give you their views, some of their heated moments that they were involved in, if this truly is over, how drivers ended. Plus, time out for trivia. How much do the Dodgers know about NASCAR? They got spring training here. What do drivers know about Major League Baseball? And Michael, walking and talking, we'll head up to Rattlesnake Hill. It's live on Fox from Arizona. 4th race of the year today. We've had 3 races with 3 different winners so far. All of the winners took the lead with 7 laps or fewer to go in the race. And all 3 of the winners this year won for the first time at that particular track. Remember, Harvick had the pit road speeding penalty. It opened a door for Keselowski. Then Keselowski had the right front hub problem with a couple to go, and Martin Truex Jr. wound up winning there. So what will we see today? Well, high heat doesn't just describe the track conditions that we've discussed. It also describes what's being thrown at spring training here in the Cactus League in this area. 15 teams call the Phoenix metro area home, and in baseball, like in NASCAR, like in any sport, athletes try to avoid mental errors. So we put the Dodgers and drivers to the tools test.
Well, those are obviously batting gloves.
Batting gloves.
You know, Willie Mays Hayes used them as base stealing gloves.
That's racing fuel, Senecal gas can. Trumpet. NASCAR trumpet. For the national anthem.
Those are something for a catcher. Those are, I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Like knee safes.
Oh, yeah. Not a good catcher, an old catcher, maybe a retired catcher wears those.
Those are some nuts. Those are the nuts for the tires.
It's like a pitcher's bag.
Bean bag, powder bag.
Looks like a dirty old sock.
That's the hammer. That's a drill to unscrew the nuts in a pit stop, right? Is it what is that, wrench? I don't know, what do you call it? Power wrench? Pit drill.
That's the weight they slide down on the bat, so when they do their batting practice, they warm up with it.
Bat weight. Some of them are bigger than others. Depends on the size of the guy's arms.
That's a seatbelt, right? Oh, that's a Hans device for the neck.
Is that like the pine tar?
Yeah, my man George Brett maybe used a little too much of that at one time.
Make their hands stick to the bat?
Everybody needs a little pine tar in their life.
Oh, man. Is that for the Pistons? That's a restrictor plate. Oh, that's a beer pong holder. Take those things off. I want to see them go fast.
Got them all.
You need to get out and enjoy baseball more.
100%. Maybe not.
Good stuff all intertwined. We're making a big deal out of the Logano Bush thing, but look, in baseball, when there's a brawl, we show that a lot. In football, if somebody gets out of hand and they go
Every
at
contact sport they have fights. Right. It's just emotion. They can't help it.
And we love watching it.
Yeah, it's as long as nobody gets really hurt.
Yeah.
And in hockey, they use sticks, which is kind of interesting. By the way, MLB Whip Around on FS1 begins April 3rd. That's 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. It's a great highlight show. You should tune in.
I will.
All right, I know you will.
You're on that show.
That's why I promoted it. Are you kidding? The Dodgers, by the way, one of those teams that could threaten the Cubs. This track, for the World Series, or at least the NL pennant, this track has its own friendly confines, and our Michael Waltrip is there on Rattlesnake Hill.
Morning, everybody. I made it. What a hike that was. And what a beautiful country we live in. Holy cow. I love when NASCAR goes west. I get in my Toyota and I drive from Vegas to Phoenix to Cali and just take in all the beautiful views. This is one of my favorite though. Rattlesnake Hill. Look at this view of Phoenix Raceway. So cool. And you know what else it's good for? Working on the old golf game. Just trying to make sure that the swing is as pure as it was back east. And we're 1, 2, holy cow, the air spinner. Ripped it. I'm gonna qualify for the US Open.
Looks like it's in the rough.
It's all rough out here, sir. We're in the desert.
Those people are looking strangely at him. Coming up, thanks, Michael. More from Michael later on the Grid Walk, and we're going to talk live with Kyle Busch to find out why everything is just great. But also, we want to take a moment to remember legendary rock and roller Chuck Berry, who passed away yesterday at the age of 90.
No particular place to go. Riding along in my automobile, I was anxious to tell her the way I feel. So I told her softly and sincere, and she leaned.
We're back live, counting it out at the start of the race, along with Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Gordon, Chris Myers, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. getting ready to roll.
Looking really good in practice. That 88 car was so strong the last time that NASCAR was here. I look for him to be a major threat today.
Next week is 600th career start. But Clint Boyer and the
that guy on the left right there.
How much of a difference, by the way, Harvick in a Ford, does it make that big a difference?
Well, they didn't have the speed the last time we were here like we've seen in the past, but I'm with DW. I think he's going to be one of the cars to beat today.
Those are two very happy guys right there. Very happy.
Speaking of the success of Ford, and Jeff, you've said they're off to a fast start and it will last. There's Brad Keselowski, who really could have 2 wins this year.
He and his crew chief, Paul Wolf, they figure out ways to win that nobody else can think of.
Jimmy Johnson, who used to own this place.
Yeah, and he was very fast the last time we were here in the fall, but he looked good in practice on the long runs. He didn't qualify good, so it's going to be interesting to see him coming up through the field.
Yeah, he's off to a rough start for the first 3 races. Very unusual for him, and there are both of the drivers we'll be watching in NASCAR watching closely. And moments ago, when Joey Logano was introduced here to the crowd.
Oh, wow. That's quite a reaction from the fans. I think that's...
And here come Logano and Kyle Busch.
This is going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly down here, boys.
And Busch is around.
Hands up.
Oh, there's a fight down here, guys. They're tackling Kyle Busch, and there's punches being thrown.
Any blows landed between the two of you?
None to me. That's how Joey races, so he's going to get it.
Kyle Busch doesn't seem to mind playing the villain sometimes, so he does get booed, but that's unusual for Joey Logano to hear some boos.
Well, that's what makes this matchup so interesting to me because, yeah, typically that was Kyle Busch making these kinds of moves and getting that kind of reaction. Now this is Joey Logano. These guys are matched up pretty evenly.
Yeah, but, you know, I think it's that cavalier attitude that Joey Logano has had in all these incidents that he's been involved in. I was told early in my career, Richard Petty, I'm personally responsible for him having a crooked index finger. Because he used to poke me in the chest all the time and say, respect begets respect. Remember that.
Yeah, I mean, Joey has won, what, 14 races in the last 3 years. Only Jimmy Johnson and him are tied for the most in that time. But do you think that it is truly over between these two?
No, it's not over because these two both race very aggressively. I love the way that they race. They're willing to do anything and whatever it takes to win the race, to win the championship. But what comes along with that is some consequences. And so I think they're going to continue to race one another very, very hard.
Yeah, we have video, Darrell. It was too far back when the hieroglyphics we didn't have, but we have when Jeff was, I kid.
It's black and white. It wasn't
black
that
and white. But you were involved, but you usually took it away from the garage area. Jeff, you know, tell us how a driver gets heated and how you can forget about this the next time.
Is that you?
That
yeah, I don't know who that is.
Is that you?
You know, this is where I get when you get frustrated, when something doesn't go the way you planned it out. You're having a great race, and all of a sudden it's taken away from you. The emotions get high. Now, this is certainly one where I made a mistake. I absolutely wish I could take that moment back, and that's what led to these high emotions. And you know what? I'll be honest. I should have been sat out after that. That was an incident on track that was out of line, and I admit that I probably should have been sat out after that.
I agree.
But Darrell, Joey Logano admitted, and we talked. There's the perception that people he doesn't get the same respect as other drivers. You talk about you earn it. It seems like he's involved in a lot of these things, but he admitted that at least with Kyle when they met, what came out of there, he told him that I did make a mistake. That's a step.
That's the first time, and I think that's a lesson he learned from the Matt Kenseth incident because he didn't reach out to Matt when that happened, and it festered. It festered to the point when he got to Martinsville, Matt did something about it. I think Joey has learned a valuable lesson. I got to man up. When I make a mistake, I got to say I did and then take the consequences.
All right, let's check in with Kyle Busch. He is standing by. Our Jamie Little is live with Kyle. Jamie?
Well, Chris, there's been a lot of attention around Kyle Busch in the 18, but not just about last Sunday. It's been about this car this weekend. You've been one of the best cars. What's it been like for you, Kyle, putting last week aside, jumping back into your office and going to work?
Everything's great. So we're just looking forward to being able to move on and have a great day in the Skittles Camry. You know, it's all about the rainbow today and being able to have a good shot of going out there and hopefully get a taste of victory lane, which is just like tasting the rainbow. So hopefully we have a good one like that today, and we can run up front and try to win one for this boy here so he can help the guys push the car out of victory lane.
Your results this year not reflective of the performance of the 18. What would you be happy with leaving here today?
We just need to score a solid top 5. You know, obviously we want to win, but you know, if we're not quite there or capable of being able to score that win, then we just need to get out of here with a top 5 and try to start our rounds of making it back up through the points that we need to.
All right, Kyle Busch starting 9th. Good luck to Brexton and Kyle Busch, guys.
And Brexton, a fan of the M&M's car, and Skittles, the 18 car, that goes together. We'll explain that coming up. But I heard Jamie McMurray talk about his 6-year-old son say this week, hey, why was the punch thrown? I mean, obviously you say you're okay with no fine or penalty, but you got to draw some boundaries somewhere. Who overstepped the boundaries here?
I think Kyle coming down to where Joey was, and I think he did exactly how he races. I think he reacted exactly how he races. He walked down there and he didn't stop, he didn't slow down, he just threw the first punch. That's how angry he was. And NASCAR did all they could. I mean, NASCAR, the officials were there, they broke it up and they went their separate ways.
And I would just follow it up with, I love, again, how these guys are racing hard, especially Joe Logano, but I would say, is it always worth it? Because with Matt Kenseth at Kansas a couple years ago, he was already in the championship chase and he still went for the win and took out Matt Kenseth, and I don't think that was worth it in that situation. If it's for the championship, like with Carl Edwards, that's worth it. Okay. Go for it. But just understand, it's not always going to be worth it. Look at the big picture.
Yeah, NASCAR uses that as a barometer, that, again, the suspension, using the car as a weapon or retaliation.
You're willing to risk it all. I mean, you're risking a lot of things when you go down to somebody else's pit or and get in their face and throw a punch. You're risking a lot right there.
We'll watch for them closely today, and I don't think either one is going to hold back, at least when it comes to going going for the win. Joey Logano did decline to talk to us during the live interview today. Said he had covered everything on Friday. Maybe we'll talk to him after if the pole sitter ends up as the winner. You guys head to the booth, and we'll continue live here in Arizona.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Everything's great. Looking forward to getting back to the racetrack and getting into my race car.
I'm here so I won't get fined.
Everything's great. Really looking forward to getting in my race car and getting back here at Phoenix.
I'm here so I won't get fined.
Everything's great. Looking forward to getting back into my car.
Good luck. Thank you.
Former Seahawk running back Marshawn Lynch, who ate Skittles on the sideline, of course, in the 18-car Skittles today. That's brilliant marketing. I don't know how they planned all that. Let's head down to Michael Waltrip for the Grid Walk, brought to you by Aaron's. Michael, you cool enough down there?
Oh, it's great down here, Chris. Just beautiful. I'm glad to be at the racetrack. Aaron's loves the NASCAR fans. Go to aarons.com to learn more. Dale Jr., this is one hot car. It looks good.
Yeah, the colors are awesome. Sam Bass did the design work on it. Did an awesome job. He's been filling up my timeline all weekend with folks telling him how good a job he did, so I think everybody seems to like it too.
How fast is it?
It was really good. Second practice, we got a little tight through center 3 and 4 and through the throttle to the exit of 4. So hopefully we've worked on that overnight and got some adjustments in the car that'll help.
Have fun, buddy. Hey, here's Kyle Larson. Hey, Kyle, none of the other drivers are watching. They're all by their car like you are. Let me get you some shade. This is my Monster Energy partner. You ran on the apron, all 4 tires last year on the last lap and almost passed for second. Been on quite a roll since here a year ago with some great finishes, some great runs. Are you going to run off the road again today?
Thanks, Mike. If it comes in, most tracks kind of the groove works up. I feel like here in 3 and 4 the groove kind of works down. So we'll play with it. We'll see. My car is handling a little bit different in practice. We'll see.
Awesome. Thanks for talking to us. Where's Owen? His son's around here somewhere. Hey, Owen. Good to see you. Hey, guys. How's it going? Good to see you. Everybody having a good day? Where's Jamie Mack? Hey, buddy. Father, husband, Daytona 500 champion. Let my Monster Energy girl give you some shade here.
It's the first time that the umbrellas have really been used this year, even though we've had them, yeah.
But Fox broadcaster you added to your impressive resume last week. Could you tell me how important that was to you as a person?
It was right above winning the Daytona 500, I think. It was a really good experience. I think it's cool that Fox is letting us come up and do that. You were, I guess, a joy to work with is my word.
Am I still goofy?
Yes, you're still goofy. And Adam was fun as well, so thanks.
Tell Amanda thanks. Hey, here's Brad K. Brad, you got the big win at Atlanta. You almost went 2 for 2 at Vegas. Can you rebound and get a win here today?
Yeah, I think so, Michael. Phoenix hasn't been my best track, but my teammate is obviously starting on the pole. My other kind of quasi-teammate, Ryan Blaney's up there as well. So learned a lot from them, and hopefully we can take the Lions truck parts forward to victory lane, or at least keep the points lead today.
We're sneaking up on the green flag. It's going to be a great day in the desert, everybody. Enjoy the races. From the grid, it's Michael and Amanda.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything they learn making tires for the grueling demands of NASCAR inspires what rolls into yours. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. At Phoenix Raceway, the Camping World 500. Casey Kane's been coming on a little bit. He's already led some laps this year after he didn't lead a lap all of last season. 2 rookies have won in Phoenix. Stenhouse Jr. not a rookie, but we will see Eric Jones and Daniel Suarez in this race. Rookies hoping to pull off a cup victory as we take you trackside.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the Luke Air Force Base Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing as Phoenix International Raceway Chaplain Ken Bowers offers our invocation.
Our dear Heavenly Father, among the many things we're grateful for today, we think about our life. We thank you for life, the gift of life, the blessing of life, the opportunities in our life. We pray, oh Lord, that we will appreciate all you've done for us. We ask a safe race today, and we think of the words of President Abraham Lincoln when he said, it's not the amount of years in your life, but the amount of life in your years. Lord, give us both, we pray, and we thank you for it in your name. And everyone said, amen.
Now here to perform our national anthem, please welcome Emmy Award-winning and PIR favorite, Dr. Jesse McGuire, a.k.a. Power Trump. Two with a couple of Chevys Fords on the front row. Projected high temperature 96 degrees for today's race live on Fox. Here at Phoenix Raceway, let's check in with Vince Welch standing by with a special guest.
Pleased to be joined by former Navy SEAL Rob O'Neill, one of our pre-race honorees today. Rob, a former Navy SEAL who actually fired the shots that killed Osama bin Laden. How does the patriotism of your life and why you're here today mesh with the pride we see from the NASCAR side each and every week in America?
Oh, it's just so awesome to be, an honor to be asked by NASCAR to come down here. They're supporting Your Grateful Nation, my foundation, the Raceway here in Phoenix. The patriotism here is just incredible. These are some of the best people that America has to offer. It's just the excitement, the prayer, the national anthem, the beer, the burgers, the cars racing. I mean, just so awesome. The teamwork that we see, everyone from the pit crew to the spotter, the crew chief to the driver, just the way all that works, very similar to a military unit. You've got the base behind you, the intel type stuff, the communication, and the person out there executing the mission. It's so great to be here supporting A Grateful Nation, my foundation, which actually helps special operations veterans transition from the military to the private sector. Just excited to be out here. It's just an awesome, awesome place.
Great to have you out here, and thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Appreciate having me. Thank you.
Chris?
Thank you, Rob O'Neill, and we are a grateful nation. The intense look from Kyle Busch, Joey Logano smiling when he spoke about the incident last week. Both drivers looking ahead, hoping for a victory, for their first victory of this season. Kevin Harvick, the slight favorite, as we take you once again trackside.
And now, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, Chief Marketing Officer for Camping World, Tamara Ward.
Phoenix race fans, are you ready to get going? On behalf of Camping World and the millions of RV enthusiasts across the country, drivers, start your engines!
All right, Joey Logano, 9 straight top 10 finishes. Kyle Busch has been 16th or worse in all 3 races this season. And the last time they raced here in Phoenix, Joey Logano, he was the winner. He finished first. Kyle Busch was second. We'll watch close. Let's head upstairs to Daryl, Jeff, and Mike.
Isn't it funny how NASCAR is such a season of continuing storylines? By the way, just to the west, I think there's 1 million of those campers parked right here. This place is going to be packed today, and it's 95 degrees. Joey Logano wins the pole. Kyle Busch is right among the fastest in practice. Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. I mean, we wanted to see how these drivers were going to react. They got here, and on Friday, Joey Logano made the first statement. He sat his number 22 Pennzoil Ford on the pole. You'd think he's going to be looking out the windshield today from that number 1 starting position, but no, he's going to be watching his mirror. And you know he's going to be watching for? The 18 of Kyle Busch. In race practice, he, to me, was the car to beat.
Now, don't forget, hey, I won the race last week.
right.
Don't forget, Mr. Martin Truex. Who else do you like?
Well, I like Dale Jr. And I tell you why. I think Dale Jr. is feeling a little bit of pressure, but it's a good kind of pressure. It's the pressure to perform, because this car sat on the pole last year with Bowman behind the wheel, almost won this race at 192 laps. Keep an eye on Dale Jr. today. Could be the day that he gets that first win.
And looking for his first top 10 finish there. You want to call a race from up here today?
I like it. It's a little warm.
I think it's a little warm for that, but maybe we'll give it a try.
I'm for it.
You could fry eggs on this right here.
Woo.